Good afternoon, students. So we will start with the DSP subject lecture, and we were discussing IIR filter design. In that, we have studied basics, comparison of IR and FIR, then different methods. Impulse invariant method we have studied. Today we will simplify its numerical. All the equations are there with you. You all have the equations also. So write down the question. Today we will simplify the numerical. All the steps you have written. So write down the numerical based on IIT. Convert the analog filter. Convert the analog filter into a digital filter whose system function is it is given in the question. H of s is equal to s plus 0.2 upon s plus 0.2 the whole square plus 9. Use the impulse invariant technique. Assume students, actually no internet is there in the college. I'm using my mobile data phone. From morning I'm using it, so it might create problem. Please cooperate, because I am also having limited data and it's visible on the screen, so you can see the screen. Screen is visible to all. Use impulse invariant technique. Assume t equals to 1 second. So now what I have to do? I have to convert the analog filter into digital filter whose system function is given by this. It is having both poles and zeros in the equation. It gives you a resemble of IIR filter. Now I will convert the S domain into Z domain equation because I want to convert it into analog to digital. So what I will do, the system response of the analog filter is of the standard form. See, you have written 3 standard form equations, if you remember. Do you remember, students? You have written these equations, these 3 equations at last of IIT. So now what we will do, directly if we remember those equations, we will compare and we will find out the output. So we know this equation, it resembles with that equation. So where A is my 0.2 and B is 0.3. B is 3. Okay. So the system response of the digital filter can be obtained by using, we know the answer. So write down h of z is equal to, equation सबके पास है, अपनी कॉपी में से इक्वेशन को वापस लिखो and First write down the standard equation, then substitute the values of A and B in that equation. Getting my point? Finished? सबने लिख ली इक्वेशन? Yes, students, is it over? Next, put the values of A and B in that equation. Then put the value of T and find out the equation of H of Z, final equation of H of Z. You can see the screen also. What you got the answer? What answers you are getting? This kind of equation. So H of Z is this. All of you getting or not? So finished with this. This is a very, very simple question. But what is complicated in this? To remember that equation. That is most important. To remember this equation. Okay? Otherwise, nothing is needed. Clear? See, students, we are also facing internet issues in the college. We are using our personal data, and which is also restricted. Just your classes should not be missed. That's why. Otherwise, I have an option to leave your class because no internet facility is going on in the college. So this is the first question. It's very simple. Now write down the second question. For the analog transfer function, given, please see the screen. Determine h of z using IIT. Assume t is equal to 1 second. Okay, so now what I will do here? Who can suggest? What should we do? Is it resemble with any of the equation? Tomorrow also we will take the lab sessions. Screen is not visible. Yes, all of you. Screen is not visible. Yes, other students. I will dictate the numerical. For the analog transfer function, h of s is equal to 1 upon s plus 1 in bracket. See students, I think problem is at your end, because few are saying it's visible, few are saying it's not visible. What I can do? I am dictating. Write down the question. You simplify it and tell me the answer. Okay. For the analog transfer function, h of s is equal to 1 upon s plus 1 in one bracket, other bracket s plus 2. Okay. Determine h of z using IIT. Assume t is equals to 1 second. Okay. This is the question. Just read it carefully. Have you written it in your copy? Okay. So what is the next step I want to ask? So who will reply? This kind of equation is given to you. Now I have to match this equation with the standard equations. If is it matching or not? Yes, students, please reply. Partial fraction you have to apply exactly to find one of the standard equation. Otherwise, we won't be able to apply IIT. Okay? Yes. So find out, students, please find out the partial fractions. What h of s you are getting? Two fractions a and b. Two coefficients you will get. Please tell me the coefficient values. Now the screen is visible or not? 1 upon, yes, that's true. It's a and b, not 1. A and b. Or it will be a plus sign, not minus sign in the center. Okay, this is the equation after writing the fraction. Okay. Yes, it's right, Pratibha. Your answer is right. Very good. So this kind of equation, which equation we will use now? Which equation we will use now out of these three? Can we use any one of them? It's shown on the screen. Can we use any one of these equation? The system function of the digital filter is obtained by equation. We had one equation you can see in the PPTs. See this equation. One upon S, this equation number 7. There you simplified and you got two functions, 1 upon S plus 1 minus 1 upon S plus 2. So 1 upon S minus Pi. Elaborate this equation in terms of this, in terms of equation 7. Getting, students? So after that, you will get this kind of equation. Very good. Now, since t is equal to 1 second, simplified. So after substituting t is equal to 1, you will get this equation. Same equation you can use. Your answer should be this. So please simplify it in your copy and tell me whether you are getting this answer or not. So now we will move towards next method to simplify IAR filter design by using bilinear transformation. So students, please write down the next heading, filter design by bilinear transformation. Write down next heading, bilinear transformation. So till now we have studied one method, and what is the major drawback of that method we studied? That method is used to design the filters which are having lower frequencies, and it is not possible to design filters with high frequencies. This we have studied. So the bilinear transformation is suitable for high pass and band reject filter, as the previous methods are available for the design of low pass filter and band pass filter, or whose resonant frequencies are low, and that techniques were not suitable for high pass or band reject filter. This limitation is overcome in the mapping technique called the bilinear transformation. This transformation is one-to-one mapping from the S domain to the Z domain. The bilinear transformation is a conformal mapping that transforms the j-ohm axis into the unit circle in the Z plane only once, thus avoiding aliasing of frequency component. So it does the conformal mapping that transforms the j-ohm axis into the unit circle in the Z plane only once, thus avoiding aliasing of frequency component. This bilinear transformation is obtained by using the trapezoidal formulae for numerical integration. Also, the transformation of a stable analog filter results in a stable digital filter. We all know this thing. Stable analog filter will lead to a design of stable digital filter, because all the poles in the left half of the S plane are mapped onto points inside the unit circle in the Z domain. What is trapezoidal formulae? We will see in next slide. So now write down the theoretical concept of this. Write down all these equations, because few important terminologies we have to use, and you should know that. In theory exam, they can ask you theory of bilinear transformation. There you have to explain all these things, how the equations are derived. So write down, let the system function of analog filter let the system function of analog filter be h of s is equal to b upon s plus a. So the pole lies at s is equal to minus a. The differential equation of the analog filter, this we all know that transfer function or differential equation consists of output upon input. So h of s is equal to y of s upon x of s. Output upon input equal to b upon s plus a. So cross multiplying these equations, you will get s plus a y of s equal to b x of s. Taking inverse Laplace transform, s multiplied by y of s will give d by dt. This is a constant, as it is again a constant, to b of x of t. So you wrote equation number 3 in your copy. Student, is it visible, audible to all? Okay. So have you wrote these equations for bilinear transformation? Okay. So next, write down integrating the equations between the limits nt minus t and nt. We are integrating the inverse Laplace transform equation between limits. These are the limits. This equation is written. Now, see, we are totally using mathematical concept over here. So if you are good in mathematics, DSP is for you only. You can simplify all the numericals. In all the chapters, in all the units, you can see it's a numerical subject. And majority mathematical concepts are used over here. So again, we are using a trapezoidal rule for numeric integration. Equation number 4, integrating by using trapezoidal law, integration at dt gives you this equation: t by 2 a nt plus a nt minus t. Simply integrating this equation in terms of dt and putting this limit, you will get this equation. Clear? So now what we will do, applying equation 5 in equation number 4. So you will get this final equation like this. Please write down this equation. Finished writing? Okay. So we will move ahead. Taking Z transform. Taking the Z transform. The system function of the digital filter is, see, you can simplify this. I have written directly. You take the Z transform of both the sides. You will get equation in terms of x of z and y of z. Take out common x and y terms. So taking Z transform, the system function of the digital filter will be this equation. You can leave the space and write down directly this equation. Then you can simplify it later on. Now what we will do, we will compare equation 1 and equation number 6. Equation number 1, b upon s plus a. And equation number 6 is this. So here what you can say, we had standard equation, a very simple differential equation, b upon s plus a. So now what we did, we want to convert the s domain, which is your time domain, consists of your analog part. We have to convert that analog domain into digital domain. So what we are doing, we are replacing that s by this term, 2 by t in bracket 1 minus z inverse upon 1 plus z inverse. So we replace s in terms of z. So I got this equation, s is equal to 2 by t 1 minus z inverse upon 1 plus z inverse, or you can say 2 by t z minus 1 upon z plus 1. Is it clear? So this is just converting S domain into Z domain. In previous impulse invariant method also we did the same thing, but the technique, the approach was different. We used Z is equal to e to the power st over there. So this is the second type of transformation. So finished writing this. Should I move ahead? Write down the general characteristics of the mapping. The general characteristics of mapping Z is equal to e to the power st can be obtained by putting S is equal to sigma plus j ohm for the mapping. Z is equal to e to the power st can be obtained by putting S is equal to sigma plus j ohm and Z is equals to r e to the power j omega in equation number 7. This is my equation number 7. I can put S is equal to this, Z is equal to e to the power R e to the power j omega. I can substitute it over here. See, I can find out Z also, Z equal to in terms of S. यहाँ से मैं Z भी फाइंड कर सकती हूँ, इक्वेशन ऑफ Z in terms of S. Okay. Now what I am doing, e to the power j omega. Splitting the terms e to the power j omega in terms of sine and cosine. And simplifying it, we will get equation number 8. By simplifying this equation, we will get equation number 8. Write down equation number 8. Now here what we did, we splitted the terms in terms of real and imaginary. Therefore, S क्या होता है? Sigma plus j ohm. This is my sigma and this is my ohm term. So I got sigma and ohm term by simplifying this equation. You can write down the equation in your copy. Finish writing this equation, sigma and ohm. Okay, next equation. Now, by equation number 9, what we can say, it can be noted that if r is less than 1, small r is less than 1, this is less than 1, then what will be the value of sigma? Sigma will be less than 0. And if r is greater than 1, sigma will be greater than 0. r 1 से greater होता है तो sigma तुम देख सकते हो, इसमें simplify करके you can get sigma greater than 0. Thus, the left half of the S plane maps onto the points inside the unit circle in the Z plane, and the transformation results in a stable digital filter. R less than 1, sigma L is less than 0. So it means all the poles lies inside the unit circle in the Z plane, and it contributes to the left half of the S planes. Whenever such kind of mapping exists, one-to-one mapping, then it results into a stable digital filter. Now consider equation number 10 for unity magnitude. For unity magnitude, r is equal to 1. If you talk that it's a unit magnitude, r is 1. जब r 1 हो जाएगा तो सिग्मा की वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगी? In that case, sigma will be 0. You can see in the equation, if r is 1, sigma will become 0. We are trying to find out the parameters at unity magnitude. Okay, when small r is equal to 1. अभी हमने दो conditions देखी थी, r less than 1, r greater than 1. Then sigma is less than 0, greater than 0. Now the third condition is that when we are having r is equal to 1. So at that time sigma is 0. What is the value of ohm when r is 1? In this case, when r is 1, your ohm will become 2 by t sine omega upon 1 plus cos omega. Is it clear? Your ohm will become 2 by t sine omega upon 1 plus cos omega. ठीक है? Now we want a very simplified equation. This equation is in terms of sine and cos. Generally, I have seen Ohm equation or the phasor equations are in the form of tan. So we will convert this equation in terms of tan. So what I am doing, sine omega I have replaced by 2r sine omega by 2 cos omega by 2. 1 plus cos omega is replaced by this equation. And at last I will get Ohm is equal to 2 by T tan omega by 2. Tan omega by 2. This and this will get cancelled out. Here you will get 2 cos square omega by t. This and this one will cancel out and you will get sine omega by 2 upon cos omega by 2, which leads to your equation 2 by t tan omega by 2. Is it clear? So this equation 11 is very important. Or equivalently, you can say, I got the term ohm. Ohm is my transformation from analog domain to digital domain. Okay. So now I can write omega equivalently equals to omega is equal to 2 tan inverse ohm t by 2. Is it clear? So equation 12 is showing the relationship between the frequencies in the two domain ohm and omega. Okay, ohm and omega domain. It can be noted that the entire range in ohm is mapped only once into the range minus pi by pi. Ohm is your analog domain. Mapping is done to omega, that is digital domain. However, in the figure, mapping is non-linear and the lower frequencies in analog domain are expanded in the digital domain, whereas the higher frequencies are compressed. This is due to the non-linearity of the arc tangent function and usually known as frequency warping. See, sometimes when we are converting this, we get some non-linearities in the mapping. That non-linearities is due to this arc tangent function tan omega by 2. And this is known as frequency warping. The non-linearity caused due to arc tangent function. See, in exam, they can ask you what is frequency warping and from where this term is related to. So we should know this term is coming from your bilinear transformation equation. So if it is for more numbers, you can write whole theory and at last you can mention frequency warping. If a small question is asked, then you can just define what is it. Is it clear? And this is the diagram which is showing you a relationship between omega and O. Just we will wind up our class in 2 to 3 minutes. This is omega, low pass frequency graph, frequency compressed over here, frequency expanded. This is my pass band, stop band. This, see, this is ohm domain. This is h of omega. This is h of j ohm. Relationship between omega and ohm as given in equation. This equation I will show. With respect to this equation, the graph is plotted. Low pass frequency graph is shown over here. Cutoff frequencies are marked here. Cutoff frequencies are marked here. So you can draw this in your copy. So this is all about your bilinear transformation method. write down one numerical in your copy. Convert the analog filter with the system function h of s is equal to s plus 0.1 upon s plus 0.1 the whole square plus 9 into a digital IIR filter using bilinear transformation. The digital filter should have a resonant frequency of omega r is equal to pi by 4. So we will simplify this numerical in next class. Goodbye, students.